Good afternoon. Welcome to the Batman Show, minus Eric Woods. He had work things that popped up. But Ian's in the house. I'm in the house. All of y'all are in the chat. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, Big Al. How are you? And Dave, there we go, highlighted. And David Pinsett, how are you, sir?
Hi, David.
Today, we're just going to have like a quick discussion because Eric's got stuff going on and I got stuff going on. And of course, Eric bailed on us because of work responsibilities. The new releases, the must-owns coming into Christmas time, to either make you broke or to give you something to ask for. And there's quite a bit coming out. Ian and I were talking shortly before we just hit the live button about The Burbs, a little-known Jerry Goldsmith score from like 1989, I believe.
89,
Right?
88?
89?
Yeah, 89, I think maybe. Yeah.
So I'm buying it because I only have it on LP, and I think Ian would like to have it as well.
Oh, well, I was umming and ahhing because I think Eric had said that it's the same program as the Varese Deluxe Edition, but it's that 15 minutes of extra stuff that has tweaked my. And I love the Burbs score as well. I love the film as well. So yeah, it's.
I have the Waxworks LP because that was that was still like $50, and I never wanted to throw $100 and something onto that CD. I thought I'll get it one day cheap off eBay, or they'll just have to reissue it until then I'll be happy with the LP. And here we go, $22 tomorrow, 2:00 Pacific Standard Time. 1,500 copies. I would order it sooner rather than later.
But look at the CDs that La La Land are throwing up in this final five for the year. I mean, I was surprised the Burbs was in there, but
I was too. I was like, wow.
But yeah, but I mean, you called the one of them.
I did, and I was like, guys, Spider-Man was 20 years ago, and 3-disc set of Spider-Man, no less.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the most expensive offering they got dropping tomorrow. It's what, $40?
But that's probably about right for a 3-disc set, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed on Facebook as soon as that announcement came up, everybody was saying, they weren't going, "Whoa, yay, we got Spider-Man! 3 discs, lots of extra stuff." They were saying, "Oh,
where's Spider-Man 3 and 2?"
Yeah. I mean,
immediately. It's like,
Eric put a note on there, so saying, just can we just be thankful for this one, just for a bit, just enjoy this, and then
give it a year or so. I think number 2 will come out maybe within a year or so.
Yeah, but I mean, admittedly, I would love to see Christopher Young's Spider-Man 3, but yeah, I'm just thankful that we're getting this hugely big kind of 3-disc set for Spider-Man, and it deserves it after 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that 1-disc set, that we've had all these years was a fairly decent kind of.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, but it's not 3 discs.
And they're doing like the complete score on 2 discs, and then they're just reissuing the original.
Yeah.
On one of the others. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what were the other 3?
Amistad.
Amistad. I do like the Amistad score. I'm not overly familiar with it. I know Dry
Your Tears, Africa. Yeah.
Africa, which is a wonderful kind of concert piece, but that's the piece I know most from that score. But it's John Williams, so
it's of course it's remastered, which I'm looking forward to. And if I recall correctly, there was a lot of outtakes on this presentation.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. And I agree with you. It's not one that I've listened to a whole lot outside of like Dry Your Tears Africa. It's the standard concert piece. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to having the complete score in order and remastered. I think it'll be a new listening experience. I'm pumped to get it. I like when they finally dropped everything that's coming out. I was like adding everything up, figuring what's just going to set me back, and I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah, because
But
the problem is because La La Land have so, putting these 5 out for the end of the year, but Quartet I think are pushing for 3 or 4 or maybe more releases by the end of the year as well.
Yeah.
Quartet are usually pretty good as well, so
Mhm.
there might even be a Velasquez score in there. Don't know.
They've dropped 5 or wait 4 or 5 in the past month. Let me get my little handy list. They dropped 5 in the past month and a half. Since October, they've dropped 5.
What, Fernando Velasquez scores?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Does he put out that many scores, or are they just going through his back, releasing his back catalog?
What were they? I mean, they're all foreign films. One was a concert thing, and then I think one's a Netflix. I think 2 are Netflix shows, and one was a movie. I think one was a re-recording. So it's like a re-recording. He's the conductor on a Bernard Herrmann score, if I remember correctly. And then I think there were like 2 Netflix shows and a film, and then I think a concert CD.
Isn't he conducting a re-recording of a John Barry score as well
I don't know,
for Quartet? I think he is.
but I'll buy it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, which one it is though. Anyway.
Yeah, and the thing I hate about Quartet, because you were talking about shipping when buying stuff from La La Land. Quartet, like shipping is just like just bought 2 more CDs, but in their defense, it will get here quicker than something will from California.
Yeah, it is expensive, but they I don't know. DHL from Spain seems to work a lot better than anywhere else in the world. Because I ordered The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Zulu when they had that sale a few months ago. And that arrived. I ordered it and I had it 3 days later. So
Back when I worked at the men's store, we would get stuff DHL from China, and it would come usually within 3 days. It was in the store.
yeah,
DHL does a very fine job with international shipping. They've got it down.
they certainly do. I just need to answer Big Al here. Big Al says no poop emoji pillows, Ian. Not today. I'm round at my partner's house. So yeah, no poop emojis. Sorry. So we've got Amistad, we've got The Burbs and Spider-Man. What were the other 2? La La Land?
Godfather.
Godfather. We're talking to Eric because you asked Eric. Do we need to get this? I'm not.
I've been like we personally, not we as a community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the. I mean, it is nice, but I'm not kind of falling over myself to get the Godfather score.
Yeah, I'm not really invested in the Godfather either.
I mean,
It's a nice looking set.
Oh yeah, but yeah, just doesn't excite me, that one. But it's nice that it's out there, because I think all we've had so really is a lot of re-recordings and yeah, but yeah. And what was the last one? Godfather and
Godfather, Amistad, Burbs, Spider-Man. Crap, what was the other one?
It's all right. I've got it here somewhere.
Someone in the chat, help us out. Come on, guys. Come on.
Amistad, Spider-Man. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, Tomorrow. Duh. Yeah.
I figured that.
Yeah, I was excited for that one because finally, because we were discussing that last week too, like because you've got the two separate soundtracks with different programs on them, and they're like, well, man, because they've done all the other Pierce Bronson ones except for GoldenEye. So Tomorrow Never Dies. Come on, Tomorrow Never Dies. And so it has.
They did that single disc kind of expanded version years ago, and you remember Backseat Driver?
Yeah, but it's still missing stuff. They took stuff out from the other one.
Because towards the end of Backseat Driver, on both soundtrack releases, in the film, it goes to the James Bond theme at the very end of it, but it's din 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 din. But in the film, it goes when they get to the end of that piece, and that doesn't appear on any of the soundtrack releases. So I'm hoping that with this 2-disc one, they'll have that version of it on there. So,
well, I think there's 2 additional theme songs that were rejected as well.
Are they both on there, are they?
Yep.
I saw there's a demo of Surrender on there as well, which should be interesting.
And that's a much better song than that Sheryl Crow song. I'm not knocking that song, but it's not Surrender by Katie Lang. That was the song for that movie.
To me, that is up there with some of the best Bond songs, and it's just hidden away at the end of the film. It deserved to have its pride of place at the
start, because it's the song that's used throughout the score. It's the backbone of that entire score.
It's the theme to the film, and that's what I loved about the early Bond films. That John Barry used to write the melody for the song, and then use that as the kind of either the love theme or just the theme for the film. But you just don't get that anymore because they kind of contract it out to whoever's popular at the time. So you just get
looking at you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the song. The last few songs have been successful. They've all won Oscars, but what does that mean in this day and age? I don't know. But yeah, it's a shame it's not part of the score. But anyway, but it looks like a cracking 2 CD set, that Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, and I remember last year I bought 4 out of the 5 things they came out with, and this year it'll be 4 out of the 5 again. That's a pretty good win ratio.
Did you get the other 2, David Arnold, La La Land?
Yes.
What did you think of those?
I don't like. What's the one with Madonna? Die Another Day. I don't like that one at all.
I mean, there's some decent stuff on there, but he kind of went overboard on the kind of the hardcore. I don't know what kind of music, the techno kind of drum loops and.
Yeah, and was that him, or was he just told to do that?
I don't know. I would imagine it came from the director. Lee Tamahori was using kind of more kind of modern editing techniques and speed ramps and just.
Yeah, I that whole film was just like an abomination to me, to be honest.
I mean, there was some decent stuff in there, but just everybody mentions it. The kind of CG tidal wave thing. James Bond is about doing it for real, and there was too much kind of fakery in that film.
Yeah, so. I liked the World Is Not Enough. I'm very pleased with that album. It's solid. I love the Garbage song.
Are you a fan of Garbage, or do you just have the hots for Shirley Manson?
No, I'm a fan of Garbage.
Right. Okay. But you also hots for Shirley Manson.
Okay. Let me just be honest here. If Shirley Manson and I were in the same bed with no clothes on, I'd just be like, look, there's some things I'm never going to be able to do, and I'm okay with that. And you're just one of those things. So I'm just going to be over here on my tablet. You do whatever you want to do. And we'll just call it a night. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to. We're not compatible in any way. I got your picture in every room in the house, and I like listening to your band Garbage stuff, and I'll come see you in concert. But outside of that, just I don't need to follow you on Instagram. I don't need to. it's fine. You know,
Yeah, what a heartbreaking story.
I mean, I'm sure she'll get over it. She'll be like, I could have had Birdman, but oh well. So, I mean, life goes on for her. I mean, I'll be okay. I'm
Yeah,
fine,
it's
but
it's her loss.
it's her loss, not mine.
Yeah.
Um, but, um,
So anyway, getting back to film music, what do you reckon? We've had some decent kind of deluxe editions from Varese this year. What do you think we'll see in the first half of next year from Varese? Or what would you hope to
probably
see?
some like lame ass clues on Facebook. It's like, here's the clue for the new CD coming out. Okay.
Yes,
Shakespeare in Love, because it's a pen and Shakespeare wrote stuff. I don't know. I mean, I did just order. I finally ordered the two from Alan Silvestri. I ordered Tomb Raider and Death Becomes Her.
Okay.
And I just ordered L.A. Confidential. I finally ordered that Rachel Portman, Jim Henson 4-disc set.
Oh, you went for it, did you?
I did. Well, it was sale, 25% off sale. That should be arriving sometime today.
You see that's I'm so jealous. I see you ordering stuff. You say, "Oh, I've ordered stuff from Entrada, La La Land, or whatever," and days later you get it, and I was thinking, "Oh, I wish it was like that for me." Because I remember when I got you that Hollow Man, I ordered the Hollow Man, your Hollow Man.
That took forever.
I know. I ordered it the day after I ordered mine, and yours kind of appeared just a few days later, and mine appeared weeks down the line. But as long as I get the stuff, I don't mind. But yeah, but, do you know what? Next year, I'm hoping for Leviathan. I don't know who's got. I don't know. It might not be Perez. La La Land seem to be flinging out stuff here that we never thought they would do, like the
I didn't
Burbs.
think they would get the Burbs. I thought Verseraban would have to reissue the Burbs.
Yeah.
Burbs. And I'm surprised they haven't done it before now, because that CD is always over $100, and there's probably 4 to 6 copies available at any one given time in the entire world.
But that CD is now, you're going to see that CD on eBay now, probably for $20.
Mm-hmm. I'll say $50. I'll say $50.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, if they produce this new one, and say 10,000 copies, and they might have had more chance of. But
yeah, they're only printing up 1,500. I think they're going to sell out in the first week. I really do. I know Eric and I had a discussion, and he's like, "I don't think they're going to sell out," and I'm like, "No, they're going to sell out. That's like the one that's going to sell out." Like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I got the alarm set on my phone, 2:00 Eastern tomorrow. It's gonna go beep beep, and I'm going directly, and I'm getting my copy.
Eastern, is that your time, or what time is that?
12 Pacific, which is 2 Eastern.
Right. Okay.
Probably midnight for you.
Yeah, because it's about 6 hours behind,
or no, it would be 8.
8 hours behind. Yeah.
8.
2 hours behind.
Yeah.
Have you caught up? Are you still 6 hours behind? Is it 1:15 where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay. So when does your daylight saving time kick in?
I have no idea. They seem to change it every year.
All right. Because in the UK, it's always the last Saturday of October, Saturday to Sunday.
I feel like that's what it used to be, but they pushed it back. I heard they're going to do away with it at some point in the near future.
Yeah, I don't know why they. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
So Entrada, I've got. Was it Prancer?
Yes. I know nothing about that. So,
No, I have no idea what it is.
okay.
And obviously Conan the Destroyer.
Which I thought was going to get released last week. And I kept checking my phone. Not obsessively, but like every, 5 to 10 minutes, throughout the day. And I finally messaged Eric. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with Conan? He's like, it's not till next month. I'm like, well,
Was it next month? Is it? I thought it was tomorrow.
I think he said this the 12th, I think, next month. And I'm like, well, at least that's after next payday.
All right. Okay. Now that's going to be a 3-disc one, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. So I would think they should be able to fit the entire score on one CD. It doesn't have as much music as Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian's like wall-to-wall score. Conan the Destroyer is like choppy.
Yeah, and Conan Destroyer is a very short film as well.
Yeah.
As far as I remember. Unless there's a lot of alternate stuff that they're putting on there.
I'm fine with that too. It would be nice if they would include the original release on there.
I think they are. I think the 3rd disc is the original soundtrack release.
That's awfully short. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 35.
So. Yeah. Are you going to get it, or are you just
Conan? Yeah, Conan's done deal. Are you getting Conan?
If it's still around next year, probably, because I've got. Did I have Conan on vinyl, on LP? I don't think I did. No, I bought Conan on CD years ago, and it was a Milan release, just the original kind of 30-minute or whatever it was release. Then I got the 3-disc Varese, not Varese, Entrada.
Entrada, and that's still available, people. You can still buy that.
Yeah, and I got the re-recording, the Tadlow re-recording.
That's a 2 CD set, right? Victor's asking.
Yeah.
Do you have Conan on pipe organ?
I've listened to it on Apple Music. I don't have the actual CD. I've got it on a watch list on eBay because it keeps cropping up there. It's on Naxos. I think do.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what. I don't know. Was it you that mentioned the organ version, or was it David Pensack? I can't remember. And I just thought, what?
Yeah.
But when I listened to it, I thought, whoa,
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it's like Church and Conan had a baby.
Yeah, it works. It's So yeah, that's on a wish list to get. So it's. There was another Gerhard one I was trying to get hold of as well. I think it was the Lee Holdridge one. So
it's a shame Gerhard never did a Conan album.
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh, I'm just thinking about that. We need to build a time machine, go back in time, get him to do that, and then.
Oh yeah, because he was still doing stuff. What, into the early 90s? So yeah, we could have had that machine. There are so many things, Gerhard recordings we could have had. Imagine if he was still around. Imagine Gerhard doing Alan Silvestri's Avengers, or just some of the new Star Wars stuff. Just his version of it. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway. So what other Goldsmith scores out there do you want to see expanded? Mention
Aside from Leviathan,
well, Leviathan goes without.
yeah. David says make sure to watch the documentary Max Steiner, the Master of Movie Music, very good, being on HBO. Okay, thank you for the recommendation.
I'm going to take a screen grab of that.
You know, I missed out on Congo and Ghost in the Darkness when they came out, and they're pretty pricey. It'd be nice if they reissued those.
Producer. Entrada don't really do re-releases though, do they? They just do a.
I mean, they did Back to the Future. They reissued that. They
Yeah, but they cut it down. They took out the second
own
disc.
stuff.
Yeah. So La La Land, they did the 35th anniversary of E.T. and then they reissued it for the 40th. Same with Close Encounters.
I'm still pondering if I need to order the 40th ET or not. I know they say it's exactly the same, but feel kind of like there's something being missed by not having the 40th. But
it is just exactly the same thing, but just with different
cover.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you feel as a kind of Williams completist that you would need that to fill a nagging hole in the collection?
Maybe like next 20% off sale if it's available, and I'm already not, above the $200 mark. I might add it on.
Yeah, I mean, if you can afford it, and it because if you didn't get it, you'd probably be a bit. Do they use the word miffed in America?
I mean, we can use whatever word we want. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably feel it if you didn't get it. So, if it makes you feel good, then get it.
I mean, I almost didn't get the 25th Schindler's List because I'm like, I've got the original, I've got like one of the first 3 issues they did, I've got the recording sessions. I never listened to Schindler's List.
I must admit, the Schindler Score. I listened to the main, the theme, and I think there's Remembrances, which they did on that that CD that you sent me, the one with Yo-Yo Ma. But that's all I really listened to on the Schindler Score. I never listened to the whole thing and I probably wouldn't listen to it as an expanded thing. So I think the original release of that score is okay for me. Eric was saying that sometimes that original kind of soundtrack presentation is sometimes the best listening experience. Sometimes it's great to have all the stuff because you dip into it from now and then, but just as a standalone listening experience, I just find that original Schindler's release the one I go to.
See, and but with Schindler's List, they also brought it out on LP, and I was like, I don't need it on LP. And I thought, you know what, I should probably get it on LP. Oh, it's sold out. Let me go to Discogs, and I was like, holy crap, $500?
What?
Yeah, I was like, what? No, no. I'll be fine without it.
Is that $500 for one that was released recently on
yeah.
The original 93.
I don't think originally it came out on vinyl at all. This is the only time it's been on vinyl.
Was it? All right.
And I passed on the Star Trek, Jerry Goldsmith Star Trek from La La Land, and I was like, I really wish I got that now. And it's still, it's affordable. It's like, I think it's like 3 figures, but it's low 3 figures. But what Eric Woods is saying, it's like aside from the 40th anniversary notation and slight revisions to CD's front cover, this reissue utilizes the same master and overall content as previous 35th anniversary CD release. Yeah, but it says 40 on the cover as opposed to 35. And like I said, if like next 20% off sale comes around and it's in stock and I haven't exceeded like my comfortable threshold, I might add it on. But other than that, I guess I'm.
And it's always good to have a second copy just in case the first one gets a puncture or something.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I bought when La La Land first put out AI and their 3-disc,
Yeah.
which was incredible.
Isn't it?
It was on Amazon for some reason. It was on Amazon here in the UK, and I got it. It was a fairly decent price, and it came a couple of days later. And for some reason, sometimes the spindles are really tight, and it feels like the CD is fused to the spindle.
Yeah.
And I was gently trying to tease it off, and then there was a crack, and the CD cracked. The whole CD one just cracked, so you could bend it. It was like, and I thought, oh no! And that was the last one. That was the last copy they had here in the UK. So I sent it back, and I got a refund, and it was only about 2 years later that I managed to get another copy. But I was just distraught. Is maybe too strong a word, but it's not far from it. I couldn't believe it, but I got it in the end. So.
Oh. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I watched your unboxing of that live the other night. That was, I'm quite happy with the CDs, but it is an impressive.
I haven't made it past Rambo 2. That was where I started, and that's where I've stayed. And it's like new ears listening to new music.
It's that to me, Rambo First Blood Part 2 is up there with one of the best action scores ever written. It
sounds amazing on this LP set.
Yeah. Is it the full score? Is it?
No, it's not the full score.
So what version is it? I mean, does it have the helicopter attack and village attack? That
yeah,
cue?
That, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Rambo 3, it's got 24 tracks on here. Is that?
That sounds like the complete score.
Okay. But first Rambo, it's just one LP. It's got 20 tracks.
Yeah, I mean it's the first score isn't very long. I mean, when they're all fairly short films, they're all about an hour and a half.
That's true.
I think Rambo 3 was the longest of the scores. You know, I would really love to have a good recording of the original end credits for Rambo First Blood Part 2. You know, Entrada did their 2-disc one a few years ago, and they had a really kind of crummy recording of it on a cassette tape, but they put it on the CD just to have it on there as an archival thing. But it was just a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. I would love to have a really decent mastering of that end credit suite. That would be sweet.
Yeah, this broke my bank account when it came out, but I was like, if I don't order this, I'm gonna regret it. And y'all gonna have to listen to me bitch for the next eternity about how I didn't buy it and now it's too expensive. And
have you listened to the First Blood yet?
I haven't. I've just now made it to the second LP for
because there was talk about the Entrada CD is it plays slightly fast, and not that I've noticed. I think you had to have quite an attuned ear to actually notice it, but apparently it's been kind of sorted out for that LP release.
Hmm.
But I don't notice anything wrong with the CD version. So does it have the pop version of the It's a Long Road, or is it just the
It's
the
got it's got the vocal song on First Blood, and it's got the instrumental as the closing credits.
right? Okay.
Yeah, if anyone's on the fence about buying this, get off the fence and go buy it. It's
What's the artwork like again for the actual individual records? Because it look quite nice in the.
this is the book it came with. There's the cover.
What's in the book? Is it?
Pictures and words.
Oh, okay. Just
I haven't read it yet. I think Jeff Bond did the article in it.
okay.
But I think the artwork's kind of
Is it
kind of hokey looking.
is it new artwork or is it kind of old artwork that they've?
I think this is new.
Okay.
It's got a production still in the back. And Rainbow 3.
Oh, I quite like the Rambo 3 one.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't feel like Rambo's ever had really good artwork. Yeah. But yeah, anyone on the fence, go ahead and buy this. Let's see. David Pensack said he had a spindle issue with one of the Lord of the Rings box sets. Ooh, that sounds horrible, my friend. And the Score's in the house. Good evening, gentlemen. Hello, how are you, sir? And you have a new YouTube channel, do you not, Mr. The Score? I forget what your Christian name is. So I think Ian knows it. What is it, Ian?
I think it's James.
James. Everyone, if you're not liking and subscribing to Score, check him out. He's got some content. He likes movies. He likes film scores. Yes, it is James.
Yeah, and you can. That's a fine photo of his shelf behind him there. That looks absolutely magnificent.
So what?
Oh. I'm trying to say, do you have shelves for all your CDs, or are they just kind of? Are they just
I have a giant dresser.
Right. Is it are things easily accessible?
I mean, you slide the drawer open and everything's just face down, so you can read the spine, and they're just
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I like it. When you see when I'm at home, I've got the kind of those long kind of things. I need to get a couple more of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never thought of myself as a collector of soundtracks until I ended up with just boxes and boxes and boxes of them.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But, I would like to have everything out on the shelf, but I was disappointed that my library wasn't bigger because it's kind of like it's not maxed out, but it's pretty close to maxed out, and I probably got another 35 years of book buying, so it's going to get interesting here at some point in the future. And that dresser is pretty much full too, so I'm gonna have to buy a new dresser.
How big is the dresser? What kind of size are you talking about?
It's like yay, wide, and it's as tall as I am, so 6 feet.
Okay. And all the CDs that you bought
All CDs
fit in there at the moment.
Yeah.
Eventually, though, you're going to need something else because you're going to fill.
I'll need another one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. The Score says he amassed his collection over the years. Yeah, it's amazing what you can accumulate over the years. And I'm just going to dog talk a fellow YouTuber here. I'm not going to name names, but he has a toy channel, and he does G.I. Joe and He-Man. And he just decided to get back into Star Wars, like vintage Star Wars figures. And he sent me a text message. He's like, "Hey, I just bought some Star Wars figures. I got back into Star Wars figures." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like who did you buy?" He's like, "Well, I bought all of them." Like, what do you mean you bought all of them? He's like, "Well, I bought a complete set offline from a guy." You bought all the Star Wars figures from the Kenner Star Wars line. You bought all of them at one time. It's like, yeah. It's like, I hate you. Like, bastard.
How many figures is that?
It says it's over 100.
I hope you got it for a good price, because that's going to be
I was like, "How much did you pay for it?" And he told me, and I'm like, "That sounds really cheap. Are you sure you got everything? Did you get Blue Snaggletooth in there?" I mean, you guys, it's just like, did you get Yak Face in there? He's like, "Yeah." Are you sure? Because Blue Snaggletooth and Yak Face should be about $1,000. Okay, but yeah, he got them all. And he just went. He drew like an hour or something this weekend to go buy another small collection off somebody. It's like, I'm happy for you. That's cool.
Do you know what? I missed out when I was a kid. I missed out on the whole Star Wars action figure thing. I wanted them, but I wasn't allowed them. And all my friends had them, but I just never did.
Eric said he didn't have any Star Wars figures either, and that's just kind of, it's hard to wrap my head around that.
Yeah, but I know that they kind of reissue these kind of legacy figures. The packaging looks the same, but it's modern. It's not quite the same. I just wish I'd had the original ones still, but I don't. I'm quite sad about that.
David, they were all loose. None of them were carded. They're just loose figures. And okay, so Score brings up points that he digitized his collection over the pandemic. So if you digitize something, do you feel you don't need to have the CD anymore?
I don't. I mean, I've got all my soundtracks recorded onto my laptop, so I can then transfer it onto my phone, my iPod, my iPad, because it's easy to listen to that one. But I never get rid of the CDs.
Yeah, never.
The CDs are my hard copy, and I still dip into. I still actually play the actual CDs now and then, and I still read the liner notes. I still take a batch of liner notes to bed with me as kind of reading material if I'm not reading a book. So, no, I personally would never get rid of anything. And I'm sure James doesn't go and buy the look of his shelves in the background there. Hello, Neil.
Hello, Retro Reels. How are you? Retro just dropped a video on Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. Everyone go check it out.
I got mine in there first, though.
Eric says he digitizes everything, but the hard copies are his babies. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He says he still has all the hard copies. The Score has all the hard copies too. It was something he promised himself to do at some point. I'm still promising myself to make a catalog of everything I have so I can stop buying duplicates and triplicates of things. It's getting kind of old.
That's the thing. I keep seeing you either send a text to me or you mention it in a one of your unboxing videos that you've ordered something and you realize that you've already got it. I tend to know. I think you've probably got a lot more than I have, but I tend to know if I've already got something. You seem to lose track of what you've got.
Yeah, I guess it's better to have more than what you think, though, than to have less than what you think.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
And you're normally my recipient of like, oh, I already had this. Okay, Ian.
I'm not complaining in the slightest.
What would make you most happy for next year?
Well, soundtrack wise or just general?
Sound, yeah, we can be here all day talking about general stuff, but yeah, soundtrack wise,
Um,
I know we all want Leviathan, we all want it. So,
well, do you know what? There's new Indiana Jones film coming out next year. I'm hoping it's going to be a great score. I'm sure. John Williams seems to be on fire with the last Star Wars scores he's done. So I'm hoping that's going to be a great score. But because it is possibly the final Indiana Jones film, well, it will be the final Indiana Jones film. I'm hoping that they revisit the previous scores and we get those expanded. Probably La La Land. I don't know who would do it, but I would love to see expanded Indiana Jones scores, complete scores, remastered, sounding fantastic.
I hope so, but I feel like Indiana Jones is the bastard child of Lucasfilm sometimes.
You think?
What did they give us for the 40th anniversary of Raiders? Like a picture disc LP, and they picked like a horrible picture to put on it. I'm like, really? Thanks a lot for nothing.
Well, maybe they're looking at this Indiana Jones film as the final film, so maybe we'll get something decent out of it. I don't know. I hope so.
And they could also be like, hey, we've lost a whole lot of money this year. We need to print some money next year. So let's print some Indiana Jones money. I'll get behind that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hasbro's coming out with the new action figures.
What, for Indiana Jones?
Yes. 6-inch Indiana Jones figures.
It's not going to be as good as Eric's.
No, that's like hard to beat.
Yeah.
But they're 6-inch doing Indy, Tote, Sala, and Marion.
All right, so they're going back to the original Raiders. All right, okay.
Yep. And
Temple of Doom.
I think that's the plan. I think they're going to do more after this. I hope. I'll buy all of them. I say that now. I'm trying to like back my way out of toy collecting because I started out just buying things that I really liked, and then like 5-6 years later, you got all this stuff that just sits in boxes, and it just sits in boxes. It doesn't do anything for you, and it's like
that's the thing. You do buy a lot of toys, but you don't actually display a lot
I don't.
of it.
I mean, like something will stay on the desk for maybe 6 months, and then it'll just rotate out. My little Hannibal Lecter Funko Pop's been out the longest. He's been here a couple of years.
Yeah, because I did the same with Lego. I mean, I've got over 100 Lego sets, and for the longest time, I had a lot of them made up. But when you get that number of Lego sets, it just takes over the place. And I just thought, I just don't have room for these, and I wanted to get all my CDs out into shelves and things, and I have some Lego sets built up, but when you have things like that, like the Lego Millennium Falcon, the Ultimate Collector Series, and it's almost a meter long, and it takes up a huge amount of real estate. If you can't tip it up on its side, and I don't have a thing to put it on, it just takes up a tabletop. It's just crazy.
Wow. Yeah. They just redid Snake Mountain for He-Man, and it was like $500, I think. No, not Snake Mountain. They did Eternia, which is a huge. Did I see that Eternia thing?
You sent me the picture of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 4 feet, 5 feet.
Yeah.
And my friend's like, did you get one? And I'm like, where am I going to put that? Where? 4 feet, 3 feet? Where's that going to go? I ain't, and I need to. I think I've thought about just selling all my hot toys, and I don't have a lot of hot toys. I say that, but if you get like 2 or 3 hot toys a year, and you do it for like 4 years, you got 12 hot toys that sit in the closet all the time. They don't do anything. It's like I could sell like a hot toy, maybe get the 10 Commandments set. So,
Yeah.
but
You know what?
the score wants to know our thoughts on The Godfather. I think Ian and I are kind of like, it's just not our cup of tea. It looks like a wonderful set. If you're a fan of The Godfather, I'd be all over it. I'm just not a Godfather person. I don't think Ian is either. But the set looks amazing. I'm sure it's going to sound amazing. It's got some extra stuff on it. If that's your cup of tea, gulp it down, baby. Gulp it.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the film, but it's not a film I go back to that often, and I have got a CD somewhere with some Godfather music on it, but it's not something I listen to that often. So it's just, yeah. People will buy it. It's going to have its fans, but it's just not for me, unfortunately.
I've thought about buying it just because it's like, do I need this in my collection just because I have a collection,
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up with it, when they do a 20% off sale. If it's in stock, I'll probably add it to the cart. But I'm looking at tomorrow, the Burbs. I'm picking up the Burbs for some friends for Christmas. I'm picking up a copy for me. And I may cut myself off there because it's Christmas time. I still got some shopping to do for other people before I do shopping for me. So, but I'm definitely ordering the Burbs tomorrow. And I think everyone should. If you're even on the fence, I think that's going to sell out. I know Eric disagrees with me. I think it's going to sell out before Christmas. Retro Reels wants a expanded Highlander release next year, Cayman and Queen's music that hasn't been released officially. And that still seems so odd that it hasn't had that release, but it hasn't. So.
Yeah, I mean, the only Highlander music that I have is a re-recording on I think it's a Silver Screen kind of compilation album. It was like a suite of music. It maybe had 12, 15 minutes of music recorded by some orchestra that Silver Screen had contracted. I mean, it's okay, but it's not the original. I would love, as Neil says, I would love to have that. I don't know how you would work the licensing to get both Cayman's music and Queen's music on a single release, but that would be fantastic.
I mean, would you be happy if they were separate releases?
Yeah, I mean, I would just love to have Cayman's score, his original score. And yeah, Queen's music, yeah, definitely.
David's got some follow up on the Indie doll. His friend that worked at Kenner had no idea why the eye color was changed, but it would have had to been approved by Lucasfilm regardless. So, and I bet George Lucas doesn't even remember.
Probably not. But it would make sense that they changed the eye color just to differentiate it from Indy to Han Solo.
It's the Burbs or Jerry Goldsmith parodies Marconi's music in one cue. I'm not familiar enough with Marconi's work to.
I think he tried. Yeah, there is one cue. I think it's called "Here We Go" or something like that. It's when they approach the Klopex house for the first time to ring the bell, and I think Jerry Goldsmith tried to copy Ennio Morricone, but he couldn't quite do it. So they basically just licensed a piece of Morricone music and used that in the film. But the version that's on the soundtrack is Goldsmith's attempt at it. But I think both Goldsmith and Joe Dante agreed that we'll just license a piece of Morricone and stick it in there. That's how I believe it went. But
do you know what I just listened to for the first time yesterday? No Way Out.
No, let me think. Okay. Escape to Victory.
No.
Black Beauty.
No.
It was a magazine show here in the 70s and 80s called Nationwide. It wasn't Nationwide, was it? No. Was it a TV? Was it $6 Million Man?
No,
I don't. You tell me.
No Way Out. It was a
Oh,
Kevin Costner film back in the day. Maurice
yeah,
Jarre did the film score.
yeah. It was all electronic.
It's very Maurice Jarre from the 80s. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
really. I always felt. I mean, it worked in the film, but I never had any kind of wish to listen to it away from the film. It just seemed a bit drony. I don't know. Maybe I need to revisit it. But really, No Way Out.
Yeah, I was trying to find something at bedtime, and I'm like, huh, okay, I'll give it a try. And I went looking for the soundtrack, and there's been an expanded release, which is I guess it's like around $50 or so. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to wait till after the first of the year at this point. But I rather enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I need to revisit that because I love the film. I think the film's great. Have you seen the film?
Now that was not the film I would have watched when I was like 8 years old.
Oh no, it's just a cracking thriller. It really is.
It's got
Uh,
Gene Hackman is in it as well,
yeah, Sean
and
Young.
Sean Young. I was thinking Deborah Winger, but okay.
Yeah, I can see why you get those two mixed up, but yeah, Sean. There was somebody else in there as well. Oh, George Zunder is in it, and David Bowie's wife,
Okay.
Iman. Yeah, but yeah, it's just a cracking thriller.
David says it's a good film. Now I'm gonna have to like watch it. Thank y'all, everyone. David says he enjoyed the score. Right, cool. Does anyone have the soundtrack on CD or LP or cassette tape?
No.
Victor says it's the only synth score by Maurice Jarre that he can stand. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love the score for Enemy Mine, but the first half of the score is just Maurice Jarre's synth stuff, which I just skip. I
Yeah.
just skip to the grand orchestral stuff. So
What about like a new? I don't know if Sarah Band still has the license, but what if they redid Witness?
again, the only thing I mean, I've got Witness on LP. I bought it back in the day when the film came out, and the only piece I listened to was it Building the Barn?
Yeah,
Which
that's
he, which
like the
which then,
piece. Yeah.
yeah, but which he then I mean, it makes a great orchestral concert piece. It's just a marvelous piece of music. But that's the only thing I listened to on that whole LP, just that one thing. So
The score is asking, does anyone buy scores without never, ever, ever, never, ever seeing the film or the trailer? He does
I
sometimes.
think,
I do habitually. I have more soundtracks to films I will never, ever see than I do than films I have seen. So don't feel bad, and don't
I used to.
don't let retro shame you. It's okay.
Yeah. I used to back in the day, especially if it was a Goldsmith score that came out, a brand new one, and I would just buy it because it was a Goldsmith score. But there were a few duff ones along the way, but I would never say anything because I paid money for it. But yeah, I tend to buy film music because I like the music in the film, so I want to listen to it again. There's been a couple of blind buys, but not that many.
Well, speaking of films we've never seen and probably will never see, and soundtracks we would like to see come out next year, Gidget Goes to Rome by John Williams. Sugarland Express, John Williams. Daddy Gone a Huntin', John Williams. Sergeant Riker, John Williams. I Passed for White, John Williams. But let's go back to the early years of John Williams and let's get these out on CD. Finally, can we finally do it, please? Someone. I don't care who, just do it. Get it done.
I could record those on kazoo. I have a kazoo. I
Okay.
don't read music, but if I listened, if I watch the films, I could. It would be awful, but I could do it.
Can't be worse than the Kennedy Center.
Oh, it can be. It can be. Do you know what? I would like to see a complete Under Fire.
From James Horner?
Jerry Goldsmith.
I'm thinking Courage Under Fire.
All right. No,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff there that would be worth listening to.
I just listened to Executive Decision for the first time this weekend.
All right. What do you think?
I liked it. Yeah, I of course the expanded sold out. I've got the standard release, and I thought I don't need the whole thing. It's like you should just stop thinking that. If there's an option for that, you should just take it. As long as it's affordable, you should take it.
Yeah, I must admit, I've got the original Varese release. I don't have the deluxe edition. It wasn't a huge expansion, but I quite like it. It's got a good martial theme to it. But
Big Al says he wants the Seven Faces of Dr. Lao. That's a weird movie. I watched that with him one night. It was weird.
is that Tony Randall? Is that from the 60s or 70s? Is it that with stop motion kind of? Am I thinking of something else here?
I don't think it was stop. I don't think there's any stop motion in it. It's like this Chinese guy goes around, visits like a Western town, and there's different stories.
Yeah,
I think Big Al's saying it's got Tony Randall in it.
Right. Okay. I am thinking of
The score brings up James Horner died too young. He did. He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess there is some stop motion in it, according to Al. Okay.
I thought so. There's some kind of like a snake creature, or there's somebody with a human body, and I don't know. It's years since I've seen it. Maybe I remember it from when I was a kid. I just remember.
It's like I just saw it one time. It's like I've never eaten mushrooms out of the yard, but if I did, I imagine this is probably what it would be like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an odd film, but odd can be good sometimes.
Yeah.
Who did the music for that?
No idea. Come on, Big Al. Let us know who did the music for Seven Faces of Dr. Lao. Is it Dr. Lao or what?
Dr.
Yeah.
Lau. I suppose I could look it up.
Steve, you think you're going to order anything between now and the end of the year, or you think your purchases are kind of like done for right now, or?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Money wise, it's probably done for this year. So yeah, I mean, if money was, if I had money, just if I had no money worries whatsoever, I would get everything, and I'd be, yeah, I would buy all 5 of the La La Land releases. There's some of the Varese recent ones. I would go back and I would get the 2 Alan Silvestris, the Lara Croft one and the
Death Becomes Her.
Death Becomes Her. I would get LA Confidential. Yeah, there's loads, but yeah. I think I'm done for this year.
Did you not order LA Confidential?
No. I've listened to it on streaming. If it's still, I think I said this to David Pensack in an email a couple of days ago. I said, if there are things still around next year that haven't sold out, I'll revisit them then. But why do they put these things out in December?
So people get them for Christmas presents, or
I suppose I could do that, but just give them to myself.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just,
Just tell people they are Christmas presents and go, oh, well, that's nice, but just don't tell
well,
them.
like, my sister doesn't work and she has no money. So I'll buy presents for my mother, my stepfather, and for me, and I'll give them to Jane. I'll be like, okay, wrap these. I think it's self-evident who's for what. And like, it usually works out well, but like last year, I ordered a Bernard Herrmann set from Prada, and I gave it to her, and I said, okay, this is my Christmas present. And then I'd forgotten, and we didn't have Christmas last year because I was like deathly sick. My mother was sick. And so we kind of just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then it's like, I was on Entrada's website. And I'm like, oh, I don't have that Bernard Herrmann CD set. I thought I bought that, but I guess I didn't buy it. I tore up the house looking for it. I couldn't find it. And then like Jane's like, oh, here's your Christmas present from last Christmas. And I was like, ha, 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 yeah, woo! I'm not crazy. So, anyways,
It's the thought that counts.
it's the thought that counts. Eric says there was a Film Score monthly release of Seven Faces of Dr. Lao, and it is excellent. And right now, Big Al's going to eBay to look it up.
Yeah, I mean, weren't they selling a lot of FSM things on eBay recently? Yeah, Neil, would that LA Confidential vinyl you got, would that be in the original kind of 30-minute release? Because this new one is a kind of expanded one.
And since he brought up Record Store Day, I have some thoughts on Record Store Day.
Oh, let me stand back a bit.
I hate Record Store Day, and this is why. Because it's to encourage people to shop at their local record shops. You know what? I live in the largest city in Alabama, and there's like 2 in town, and they both suck because they never have what I want to buy. Well, you want Adele or Taylor Swift? No, I don't want either one of them. I don't care. I want the Cowboys by John Williams. Oh, we didn't order any of those. Fuck you. Thank you for nothing. Thank you for nothing. I have to go to eBay. I have no choice. I wanted the Cowboys. I went to eBay. I got it. I don't know, like maybe around $60. That's fine. I'm happy with that. But well, why can't? That's fine. Give it to local record stores for like a week, and then the record company be like, hey, after a week, we're going to put it up on our website, and you can buy it from us then. Because the people who have the locations go in and they buy everything, oh, they can only get one copy. That's fine. They'll buy their one copy, and the next guy will buy his one copy, and the next guy will buy his one copy, and then they put them up on eBay for $100. Find it irritating. Anyways, Retro, I've tried that. I've gone there, and I'm like, hey, are you gonna get the Aliens soundtrack and like the Acid Blood vinyl? I'm like, no, we're not ordering it. I mean, could you order me one? No, I'll have to order more than one. I don't think so. Whatever. This is why I don't come in here. Thanks.
I know in the UK and years gone by, if a record store didn't hold something in stock and it was on a catalog somewhere, they would order just that one copy for you. So they obviously don't do that in record stores where you are, which I find a bit sad, really.
Ooh. David Pensack says since he started tuning in April, he's bought 70 plus soundtracks because of all of us. Wow. And that makes me stop think, how many have I bought? I don't want to know. That's
I think I said the other week I'm getting up to nearly 100 videos on my channels. So I'm planning for video number 100 I'm going to go back through all the CDs that I've bought since I started my channel. And it's quite a lot. I think it's over 100. And and it's all because of recommendations from David. I've bought CDs from David's recommendations, from your recommendations. I've had CDs that you sent me, Daniel. Thank you very much. Recommendations from Eric and other people. It's just been fantastic. Just being part of this soundtrack community. Very expensive, but very worthwhile. So thank you to everybody, you bastards.
Big Al says it's $54.36. Buy it now on eBay plus $20.80 shipping. Is that shipping from another country? I'm sure at that shipping price. Al, I will check Discogs when I get off here and let you know what it's going for on Discogs. Sometimes things are cheaper, sometimes they're more expensive. So Retro says his local record store will order things for him. That's nice. British people are just nicer than Americans.
Present company accepted.
Well, you're British. You're nice.
I was saying that you're nice.
Oh, I'm nice? Sometimes. Eric says, if you want to save your money, don't listen to my podcast. LOL. Yeah. They should come with a disclaimer. This podcast may be detrimental to your marriage. Dave Ramsey's recommend you do not listen to this show.
Anyway, Daniel, I'm going to have to leave very soon.
I understand. I've still got a room I need to finish painting. I plan to be. My goal was to have been moved in there Sunday night, and it's now Monday, and it's not happened.
Yeah. So next week we're going to do.
We're going to do our favorite Christmas scores.
That sounds fantastic.
Is in the next 2 Mondays it'll be the day before I go out of town, and the day before I go out of town is always very busy. So
yeah, Christmas. That'll be good.
And then that gets us to the 26th of December. You said you were busy on St. Stephen's Day.
Or Boxing Day, as we call it here in the UK.
Okay. You got some murdering to do?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, David, thank you very much for listening as always, and thanks for your emails. I've got to email you back about something, but I'll speak to you soon, David.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Boomer and I are doing Jingle All the Way this week, which I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed the score from David Newman. I went looking for the soundtrack, and it's like in the $50 range because it was a limited edition and it's long sold out. But Eric says, great show, but there was something missing. I think it was that Canadian guy who plays hockey.
What was his name again?
I think it's Eric. Eric Woods, yeah. Got a very Viking name.
No idea who he is.
Retro, it's first time watching Jingle All the Way, but yeah, I mean, I'll have seen it before Wednesday night. I'm actually going to watch it tonight when I get home. But I did not see it when it came out. I was listening to the soundtrack some this weekend, and I really enjoyed it. David Newman comes from a phenomenal musical family. We'll just leave it there for now. Oh Lord. Eric Witt says, love you guys, LOL. Yeah, I'll remember that LOL when it's your birthday. LOL.
Eric, we missed you. We missed you.
We missed you. It's not the same without you. So, but yeah, I'm trying. I need to call the Houston Symphony to see if they're going to give me that deal like they did for the John Williams concert, for the Christmas concert. Hopefully they will.
That'd be good.
Yeah. And yeah, and then the following week we're doing Cobra, the Sylvester Stallone Christmas movie. And I believe Retro Reels will be joining us for that one.
Superb.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of hate for Jingle All the Way, Victor. Yeah, it seems to have a lot of hate. It looks pretty stupid, I'll be honest. I did enjoy the score a great deal, but the movie looks kind of stupid. But adopt, don't shop, keep listening to great film music. I think Ian's got an unboxing video coming up tomorrow. He did a Robin Hood video today, and I will be doing Jingle All the Way Wednesday. We'll be back next Monday. Probably some things in between. I'm expecting a shipment from Versera Band today with some goodies in it. And I guess that's it, everyone. I hope everyone has a good week, and we will see all of y'all very soon. Take care.
Bye.